Reggie, Greg Caden goes to Reggie about the murder of Tupac. I mean, the murder of Suge. Reggie tells Greg Caden that Southside Crips killed Biggie in retaliation for not getting their money for killing Tupac. Two things right there. How would Reggie know that Diddy hired the Southside Crips to kill Tupac? Huh? Right? How would Reggie know that Diddy hired the Southside Crips to kill Tupac? But if you let him tell it, Tupac got killed because he jumped on a gangbanger, Orlando Anderson, and that was retaliation for Tupac got killed because retaliation because he jumped on the Southside Crip. But he tells the police that those same Southside Crips killed Biggie. Where he failed at with that is because the Southside Crips was at the party at the Peterson Museum. They were there. They was with Biggie that night. So when Greg Caden goes to see Keefe D in them and accuses him of killing Biggie, Keefe D's like, nigga, how we killed Biggie? We was there with him that night. So he doubled back to Reggie and said, yo, nigga, you lied to me. Keefe D and was at the party with Biggie. Oh, it was Poochie. Suge hired Poochie through Teresa Swan or Tammy Hawkins, and she set it up, and she went and Suge did it from jail, and he got her to do it, and that's how Poochie killed Biggie, right? Allegedly covering up for the LAPD who allegedly killed Biggie, right? Because we know about the whole bank robbery and all that other stuff. That's might be too much information to get into right now, right? But allegedly, we know that we heard that the cops that were working for death row off duty, the Rafael Perez's, the David Max, the Kevin Gaines, are allegedly the ones who were a part of Biggie's murder. But Reggie says those cops never worked for death row. David Mack, Rafael Perez, Kevin Gaines never worked for death row. And he don't know them, and they never mentioned Reggie Wright name. But we know that that's a lie, right? We know that's a lie for several reasons, right? When Kevin Gaines got killed, what happened? Russell Poole and them went to Sharita Knight house because Kevin Gaines was driving Sharita Knight's Montero. She tells them that Kevin Gaines just left there a few hours ago. He was going to the gym and then he was going to put tires on her car. And then she allegedly gave a statement saying that Kevin Gaines worked for Death Row. Once again, Sharita Knight was Snoop Dogg's manager, and she says that Kevin Gaines did security for Snoop. She's on audio saying that he did security for Snoop, and he was paid cash. She wasn't stupid enough to give him a check to leave a paper trail. And Reggie's on the phone with her, but he tell us he don't know who Kevin Gaines is. But we know that he did security for Snoop, right? We know Rafael Perez and David Mack worked for Death Row because Big C Styles saw them working there. Rest in peace, Joe Cool seen them working there. Trady from the East Side has seen them working there. Chief Bernard Parks said he knew that they worked there. Jimmy Iovine said he knew that the Rampart cops worked at Death Row, right? Layla, who introduced David Mack to the death row or Tupac, and later found out that he was doing security for death row. And then there's the people that saw uh, Perez and them at the Biggie party that night, right? And then there's photos and video of them at the Peterson Museum that night, right? So, and then Reggie says he don't know Rafael Perez, but Omar Bradley tells you when he had a fight with Suge, and Reggie placed himself at the fight, said he broke up the fight with him and Omar Bradley. Omar Bradley says Rafael Perez was standing right there when him and Suge had a fight. And before Suge got there, him and Rafael Perez played 3 games of chess. And Rafael Perez whipped his ass in chess, 2 games to 1. So Reggie saying that he don't know Perez, Mac, and Gaines, that's been proven a lie, right? But we all know that Violetta Wallace, rest in peace, had a lawsuit out with the LAPD because of Biggie being killed. So Greg Caden's job, allegedly, was to go and make sure that he could prove that LAPD had nothing to do with Biggie's death, because that would have bankrupted the city, right? If she would have won that, she would have won that case, right? So when he goes back to Reggie, you know, they come up with the theory that Poochie is the one that killed Biggie, not the LAPD ain't have nothing to do with it, right? Which we know if you look at the composite that Little C's gave to the police, the dude just had a mustache. Poochie always had a full beard. That's just for one, right? But even if y'all want to believe 50 Cent sitting there trying to spin it saying that Big got killed, Diddy got Big killed. Only way Diddy would be responsible is for him bringing Big to LA, right? To work or whatever. And they saying that he canceled his flight to London. Outside of that, Reggie Wright Jr. is on record on Vladtv saying that Suge Knight is responsible and is the one that got Biggie killed. That's no alleged. You can go on Vladtv and look at, I would play it, but Vlad is a sucker and he flagging, you know, my channel for playing that content specifically. But y'all could go on Vlad. As many people on this channel in the comments right now that can agree that I played it before, that Reggie Wright Jr. says that Suge Knight is the one that killed Biggie. And Russell Poole didn't just do his homework right. Now, hopefully that explains a lot. So remember, the same dirty ass cop, Greg Caden, right, that went to Reggie, and Reggie told him Southside killed Biggie in retaliation for getting not getting their money, right, for killing Tupac, right? But Reggie is also the same person that told Frank the lie about Orlando snatching Tupac's chain. Frank gave a statement to the police that even Suge told him to to tell that lie, that Orlando tried to snatch Tupac chain. That's why they beat him up. And then there's a whole lie about it was a bounty on Death Row chains. That all came from Death Row. But when you ask anybody that was around Death Row, was there a bounty on a bad boy bounty on death row chains? None of them heard of that story. That story allegedly came from Reggie Wright Jr. and them, right? Which is an alibi to take it allegedly, an alibi to take it off of death row and put it on Diddy, right? Because there was no bounty on the death row chain, right? The fight at the Lakewood Mall was over set tripping, right? Why? Because Trayvon Lane and Baby Lane, which is Orlando Anderson, they both originally was Long Beach Crips. When they ran into each other, they both moved from Long Beach, right, over the years. Orlando still maintained his Crip card, but moved to the Southside Crip neighborhood. Trayvon moved now to the Mall Piru uh, area and dropped his Crip card and became a Blood. Now, if you go to Reggie Wright Jr.'s this week on his channel, he just did a show with Mob James, right? And he says on there, and they probably gonna take it out now that I got it, but I did record it. And I'm gonna tell y'all exactly where to go look at it. Because I screenshotted it. It says Reggie Wright Jr. checks Mob James about some Tupac security, right? And what he says is to Mob James is, well, you know, Trayvon was originally a Long Beach Crip, you know. So, because Mob James is saying, yo, Trayvon shouldn't have never said nothing to Tupac to send Tupac off. Tupac ain't no Orlando. That wasn't Tupac beef. You know what I'm saying? Orlando was supposed to go. I mean, Trayvon was supposed to go handle Orlando himself. And then Reggie's sitting there trying to come up with uh excuses to make it uh to make it legitimate for Trayvon to go to Pac or to go over there. He keeps saying, "Oh man, you know he didn't go to Pac. He went over to his big homies to make sure it was okay for him to go, you know, to do something." You know what I'm saying? And Marv James is like, "Nigga, you're lying." He don't need permission from the big homies. If he see a nigga that violated him, it supposed to be on site. He don't supposed to go over to no Tupac and tell Tupac, yo, that's the dude that took my chain. But once again, that whole story is a lie. The whole, if you go listen to K Dub, he tells you the fight was not over over a bounty on death row chains. They wasn't fighting over chains. Baby Lane seen Trayvon Lane, two Long Beach Crips who both moved from Long Beach to Compton. Baby Lane, Orlando Anderson moved to Southside Crip neighborhood, remained a Crip. Trayvon Lane moved to the Mall Piru area and dropped his Crip card and became a Mall Piru, a Blood or whatever. Piru Bloods is not the same thing, but is the same color, right? So he became a Mall Piru, right? So when they ran into each other at the Lakewood Mall, it was "What's up, cuz?" And I'm paraphrasing. Yo, I'm not cuz no more. I'm Piru. Boom, 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 boom. That's what caused the fight, right? That's called set tripping. Nigga, you jump sets, right? So they fought over that. The chain, death row chain, came off in the process of the fight. The South Side didn't have a beef with the Mall Pirus. And as you can see over the years, they haven't had no problems with them until the whole Tupac thing. And then after that, as you can see, they still don't really have a problem because Suge going to be saying free goddamn Keefy D and Reggie. Well, Reggie's affiliated allegedly with the Gray Street Crips, so that's why you always see his ass wearing blue, right? Because he's more on the blue side than the red side, right? And that's according to his federal case that he was affiliated with the Gray Street Crips, right? So the fight in the Lakewood Mall wasn't over a bounty that Puff put out for a death row chain. The fight was over them niggas seeing each other, and as you can see, they both got Lane in their name, right? They both that was because Orlando ran into his Long Beach Crip homie, and now his Long Beach Crip homie is now a Blood, right? Or a Pyru, right? So that's what that whole thing was about, right? But they was able to use that as an alibi to what? Put it on Diddy, right? To make it look like Tupac got killed because Diddy put a hit out on him. But they got the other theory where, oh, Tupac got killed because he jumped on a gangbanger. He didn't know what he was doing. He wasn't no real Mal Pyru. You know what I'm saying? And Trayvon went over there and told him, yo, that's the guy that took my chain. Now, according to Suge, that ain't what goddamn Trayvon told goddamn Tupac. According to Suge, he told Tupac, yo, that's the niggas that Bad Boy hired to kill you. And that's what set Tupac off and made him run up on Orlando. Not that he went to his big homies and said, yo, man, that's the dude that took my chain. And Tupac overheard that and ran over there and jumped on Orlando. That ain't what happened, right? Now I believe Suge with that because if I'm Tupac and the nigga come to me and I'm out on bail and shit, and a nigga come to me talking about, yo, a nigga took my chain. Nigga, you a gangbanger. Nigga, you telling me about a nigga that took your chain? And I'm the low nigga on the totem pole when it comes to these Mal Pyru niggas. And I'm gonna risk my bail and go back to jail for you over a fucking chain? If you want to believe that story, you go ahead. To me, it don't make no sense. Now, if a nigga told me, yo, that and Pac knowing what happened to him with Quad, now the Quad situation, I'm not gonna say Diddy ain't had nothing to do with, because he was there with Jimmy Henchman, right? And uh that situation, Diddy, to me, Diddy don't get a pass for that because he was up in the studio with Jimmy Henchman, right? So if for me, if I'm Tupac, a nigga come to me told, yo, that nigga took my chain. Nigga, go see him. Like, nigga, we in the casino. Nigga ain't got no gun. You ain't got, none of us got no guns in here. Nigga, that nigga did something to you, go beat his ass. Why would I go fight his battles over a chain? Now, if the nigga told me, yo, that's the nigga that Diddy and them niggas hired to do something to me, oh, nigga, I'm over there, right? I might just snap for it in the moment, knowing that I got a problem with Bad Boy or whatever. And the nigga come tell me, yo, that's the nigga that them niggas hired to do something to you. Yeah, I'm snapping. I probably would, right? But over a chain, a little bullshit ass death row chain that it probably ain't even worth $10,000. Like, nigga, get it, man, right? So when I had shout out to Kimmy, who had OG Patrice on her channel, they hit me up and told me they was interviewing Reggie. I told them, yo, ask Reggie when Tupac got shot. You said two things. You said you told Greg Caden that Tupac got killed and Retaliation. I mean, Biggie got killed because Southside didn't get they money for killing Tupac. But then you also said that Tupac got killed because of a bounty on the death row chain, and Trayvon Lane seen Orlando and told Tupac, yo, that's the dude that took my chain. So did Tupac get killed over the chain, or did Tupac get killed because there was a hit on death row from Bad Boy? So Reggie, so he's confused at this point. His head's spinning. You see his the marbles in his head running around, and he like, well, I mean, I feel like, he got killed. I'm paraphrasing. I feel like he got killed, because he jumped on the Crip. You know what I'm saying? He had no business jumping on no Crip, who was about that life. But it was rumors that, that Bad Boy had, you know, took out a hit on Tupac or whatever. You this, that, and the third. So which one is it? He can't answer that question, right? So, matter of fact, should I play that one? Let me see. You know what? I'm not playing nobody's footage, right? So, saying all that to say this, right? All that stuff that's in 50's documentary is all old news. That was all those interviews, everything you seen in that is from 2016. Come 30 days from now, it's 10 years old. That's old, right? Now, when you go and look at it,